Before anyone scanned a barcode or ordered groceries online, the supermarket itself was a radical invention, a 1916 self-service patent that shattered the old world of counter clerks and closed shelves. But in building the first supermarket, did Clarence Saunders unlock a consumer paradise, or set the stage for a data-driven battleground with stakes that reach into our groceries, our wallets, and our privacy? The future we shop for started with a single, startling decision. What really happened that changed everything about how we eat? In September 1916, shoppers in Memphis stepped into Clarence Saunders' Piggly Wiggly and found an entirely new way to buy food. Instead of handing a grocery list to a clerk, customers entered through a turnstile, picked up a wooden basket, and wandered aisles lined with open shelves. Everything was price-marked. Employees wore crisp uniforms. At checkout, a cashier tallied the basket's contents and sent the shopper on their way. Saunders patented this self-service system in 1917, arguing in letters in courtrooms that the design, store layout, customer flow, even the baskets, was his own invention. Competitors challenged him, but the genie was out of the bottle. The self-service model spread fast, especially after Saunders' patent protections weakened in the 1920s. Just over a decade later, in 1930, Michael Cullen opened King Cullen in a converted Queens garage. His idea was simple: pile goods high, sell them cheap, and draw in car-driving families with promises of low prices and plenty of parking. Shoppers now browsed separate food departments and filled larger baskets, making fewer trips but buying more at once. By 1936, King Cullen had 17 stores and over $6 million in revenue. Discount pricing and volume selling weren't just slogans, they were a new business logic. Then in Oklahoma City, 1937, Sylvan Goldman watched customers struggle with heavy baskets. He built the first shopping cart, modeled after a folding chair, and hired actors to wheel them through his Humpty Dumpty supermarkets. At first, people laughed. Some called them baby buggies, but soon carts became the standard. Each of these inventions quietly rewired how people shopped. More autonomy, more choice, and a rhythm of browsing that would echo through every supermarket to come. For more stories about the inventions that shaped how we shop, subscribe for deep dives and exclusive interviews. Just tap the link below. By the 1950s, supermarkets had grown far beyond their corner store origins, powered by a set of tools designed for scale. Refrigerated cases lined the aisles, keeping milk, eggs, and produce fresh longer than ever before. Behind the scenes, fleets of refrigerated trucks, known as reefers, moved perishables across states, making strawberries in January and fresh fish in the Midwest possible. In store, the racetrack layout guided shoppers in a continuous loop past every department, maximizing exposure to both essentials and impulse buys. These design choices were backed by statistics. By 1970, over 90% of supermarkets had significant refrigerated space, and half of a typical store's floor was devoted to chilled or frozen goods. Unit pricing arrived in the early 1970s, driven by state laws in Massachusetts and New York. Shelf tags now displayed not just the total price, but also the cost per ounce or pound, letting shoppers compare brands and package sizes at a glance. Trade journals from this era show how unit pricing built trust and nudged stores toward more transparent, data-driven operations. Then, in Troy, Ohio, on June 26, 1974, Sharon Buchanan scanned a pack of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit Gum at Marsh Supermarket. The faint beep from the barcode reader signaled a new phase. Every item, every sale, every price could now be tracked in real time. Buchanan's moment at the register was more than a technical milestone. It was the quiet start of a system that would soon capture not just inventory, but also shopper behavior. For more insights into the technology behind your grocery run, subscribe to the channel below. March 2020 brought a jolt that supermarket logistics teams had never faced before. Orders poured in online, overwhelming systems built for a fraction of that volume. At Kroger's Dallas location, an internal memo landed in employees' inboxes. The store would close its doors to the public and operate as a fulfillment hub. Overnight, aisles were cleared for pickers, not shoppers. Dairy and freezer sections were rerouted for speed. The normal rhythm, stocking shelves, greeting regulars, shifted to a new tempo. Scan, pack, stage, repeat. Staff who once worked checkout now hustled curbside, handing over orders to cars lined up around the block. This was not an isolated story. Across the US, the share of grocery sales happening online jumped from just 3 or 4% to peaks of 13 to 16% in a matter of weeks. At the height, more than half of American households placed at least one online grocery order. The sudden demand forced chains to convert dozens of stores into so-called dark stores. Locations closed to public browsing, but humming with staff picking and packing for delivery or pickup. Floor plans were redrawn overnight, with high-demand items moved to the front and staging areas replacing seasonal displays. Emails from logistics managers captured the scale of the pivot. One memo said, "We shut the doors Monday night. By Tuesday, pickers were combing aisles, packing orders for a parking lot full of cars." Curbside pickup became a lifeline, with lines stretching for hours. In some cities, the number of daily online orders quadrupled. The old model, built for steady in-person traffic, was now stress-tested by a crisis, exposing both the resilience and the limits of supermarket supply chains. The lessons from this period would soon shape debates about automation, privacy, and the very future of grocery work. For more on how technology is reshaping every aisle, subscribe. Below for expert interviews and exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Union meeting minutes from the mid-1980s capture a line that still echoes today. "We will not trade our checkout jobs for a machine. Scanners mean fewer full-time paychecks." As supermarkets added barcode readers, self-checkouts, and more recently automated fulfillment lines, workers and their representatives have pressed for answers about what gets lost when a job is replaced by an algorithm. The United Food and Commercial Workers Union points to a pattern. Each leap in automation promises efficiency, but often delivers fewer hours, lower wages, and more gig or temp work. In recent years, the rise of dynamic pricing and personalized offers has added a new layer of uncertainty. Not just for workers, but for shoppers too. Electronic shelf labels now let stores change prices multiple times a day, sometimes in response to local weather, inventory, or even the shopper's own purchase history. Loyalty programs and apps track every item, building detailed profiles that feed into real-time pricing engines. The Federal Trade Commission in a 2025 report found that most consumers have little idea how their data shapes the prices they see. The report called for clear disclosures, warning that algorithmic pricing can quietly sort shoppers into groups who pay more or less for the same goods, sometimes based on factors they never agreed to share. For grocery workers, the stakes are both visible and hidden. United Food and Commercial Workers representatives argue that as automation and data-driven pricing grow, the value once created by human labor is captured elsewhere, by shareholders, by tech vendors, or by the data itself. Regulators now debate how transparent supermarkets must be about these systems and whether new rules are needed to protect both jobs and shopper privacy. The question remains, who benefits when a store knows not just what you buy, but who you are and what you're willing to pay? Subscribe for more original reporting and expert analysis on the future of food retail. Micro-fulfillment centers are already reshaping how groceries reach doorsteps. Chains like Kroger and Ocado have rolled out automated hubs that pick and pack orders 3 times faster than manual teams, often in spaces a quarter the size of a typical store. Investors report labor costs dropping by up to 40% within the first year of operation. In-store robots, now common at Walmart and Schnucks, scan shelves daily to flag empty spots and misplaced items, helping reduce out-of-stocks by nearly a third. These machines run quietly alongside staff. Pilot data shows error rates below 1%. Drone delivery, once a distant idea, is now reality in select U.S. cities. Walmart's drone service covers over 1 million households, delivering small orders in under half an hour. Vertical farms, tucked into back rooms or rooftops, supply a growing share of leafy greens, using 95% less water and producing hundreds of times more yield per square foot than outdoor fields. AI-driven inventory tools, already in use at Tesco and Carrefour, cut food waste by up to 25%. The roadmap is clear. Automation, data, and new growing methods are moving from pilot projects to everyday practice, promising fresher food, fewer shortages, and new questions about who benefits from each leap. Tesco's 2021 food waste pilot delivered a clear result. Stores using AI to forecast demand and optimize markdowns cut their food waste by 33%. Similar pilots in France and the US point to the same lesson. Technology can shrink the gap between what is stocked and what is sold. But the green transition is not only about algorithms. Supermarkets are among the largest users of electricity in retail, with refrigeration accounting for more than half of their energy draw. To curb emissions, some chains now install solar panels and retrofit aisles with closed-door coolers and energy curtains. Energy is part of the solution. It requires policy and investment. Packaging is another battleground. Loop's reusable packaging trials now running in select US and UK supermarkets let shoppers return containers for cleaning and refill, chipping away at single-use plastic. Packaging changes can reduce waste and change shopping habits. Yet not every community welcomes the future with open arms. At a city council hearing in Brooklyn, one resident said, "We want food, not fulfillment centers backing onto our homes." Zoning debates over dark stores and delivery hubs are now a fixture in cities from New York to Barcelona, with neighbors demanding a say in how the supermarket of tomorrow fits into daily life. Community voices will shape policy as much as technology does. For more reporting on the policies shaping your next grocery run, subscribe to our channel using the link below. Every time you scan a code or receive a personalized offer, you are part of a living experiment in how we eat, spend, and share data. As grocery aisles go digital, our choices shape not just shopping, but society itself. Tomorrow's supermarket is built by today's decisions.